Two things are going to come out of this podcast. One, we're going to be canceled, and two, we're probably going to get divorced from our wives.
So fucking inappropriate. So fucking inappropriate.
It's like crying, just jerking it on empty horn. What the fuck? Jerking it on empty horn. Jerking it on empty horn.
So fucking inappropriate.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's time again for that top 10 list you don't give a fuck about by two guys you really don't give a fuck about.
Welcome back to another episode. We're back again with a more top 10 list of...
I mean, this one's actually not bad.
Yeah, this week we are going to do top 10 live action villains. This one was one chosen by yours truly. So we can get into it in just a minute, but I have a confession to make first, Matthew.
Shouldn't you see a doctor or maybe have had this conversation with your wife first?
I felt like there was no better place or person to do it with than you here live on our podcast. So,
so this is my last episode. Apparently, he found a different co-host, and
not true. However, I'm hoping that the listeners can tell it sounds a little bit different. We're actually recording in a studio. That's not my confession, by the way, but let's go ahead and talk about that just for a minute. We reserved the studio. It's only available on Saturdays.
and that was a damn process, by the way. It's kind of hidden in the website a little bit. You got to really jump around. They're pushing the 3D printers for their makerspace, and they don't really push the photography booth around the corner or the sound booth that we're currently sitting in. I've snapped about 8 pictures, so we're going to throw that up on Instagram. I know we have Instagram. I don't know if we have Facebook up yet or not.
Oh, yeah, there's a Facebook also.
It's on my Facebook. I'll be putting it on my Facebook, but I'll send the pictures over so we can get them on Instagram, Facebook, a few things like that. I think we're going to try and do this again in the future, just based on sitting here for the 5 minutes, messing with the equipment and seeing what's going on.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like you just said that it's hard to find. I hope they keep it that way, because I want to be able to use this whenever we want to.
I mean, honestly, I'm oddly overly impressed with how this looks. It almost feels like I'm sitting in one of those like YouTube videos that you see the guys on the radio doing prank calls and stuff. Like, obviously a much bigger space, but
right.
You know, it's hard to describe. This definitely has the sound dampening on all the walls around you and everything. So it truly just feels higher class than I'm used to. Let's put it that way.
Almost professional. Like
almost like we know what the hell we're doing.
Don't get me wrong. I've spent money on the equipment that we're already using and all of that, but this is a level up. If I had the space, I might actually go home and try to build something like this. But I don't have the space, so maybe one day.
It makes me want to go clean out the one room in our house that's semi-storage and try to build something like this, put something in like this. Because, I mean, if I didn't use my shed for other things, that would definitely be considering running electricity out there and putting something in.
See, this makes you want to clean out a room. This makes me want to kick my mother-in-law out. But
all right, folks, we just witnessed the beginnings of a fight when he gets home. Not when he gets home, but in a few weeks when this airs.
I'm pretty sure my wife's already in agreement. Anyways, good thing my mother-in-law doesn't listen to this. Anyways, so back to the confession that I have to make. We were just talking about professionalism and how we're in this studio. So my confession is that our listenership are people that I make listen to the show. My employees at work, I force them all to listen to this show. So, no, I'm just kidding. I don't force them, but I do ask them to listen, and a few of them have given me feedback. One individual, Blaine, he said, "I know why you guys are called the Inappropriates." I took that as a compliment.
He mentioned that. He mentioned something about that the other day, but he did mention he did enjoy it. There were some laughs in there for him, so I'll take it as a win.
Yeah. All right. Well, now that confession's out of the way, let's go ahead and get started. The top 10 live action villains.
So to all our family and friends, we already know that listen. I mean, that's not true. You pulled the stats up. There are people in other. Wait a minute. Do you have relatives or friends in other countries?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, so there is some random ass motherfuckers out there that have ran across this, and I don't mean that is a term of endearment for me. Just for people that don't know me, if I call you my random ass or my motherfucker, it usually means I like you. So to all my random people out there, there is love from this amazing studio I'm sitting in right now. To anyone across the world, we do 100% appreciate and thank you for listening.
Yes, I 100% agree with that. Do you want to give your first one? Or you know what? Let's do this. Here's another thing. So when we started this podcast, we talked about dead air, and we would do Mary Fuck Kills to just stop the dead air. Well, that clearly has failed in the past because we weren't prepped for the Mary Fuck Kills. But I do want that to continue to be part of the podcast.
Okay.
As does my wife. So she bought us this little game that I have in my hand.
Oh shoot! The actual card game of it.
The actual card game.
Oh,
so
dude,
now
I love the fact she's got that. That is your wife just went up like 15 cool points in my book.
Yes.
And you know, I usually only do cool points on a scale of 1 to 10. So I mean, yes, Erica, I platonically love you.
So I have not looked at any of these cards. However, it looks like the pink are female and the blue are male, which makes obvious sense.
Oh, just names?
Yeah, they're literally just names of different people. Which
Okay.
I'll do one here to start us out real quick. I'll give you a few. Would you
And
like?
I'm just gonna throw out there that the first batch he took out was males. So
I've stated in the past that the male ones.
any other confessions we want to make? I'm kind of.
I believe I came out in episode 2.
What Facebook groups he's a part of?
No, there may
There's
be.
so much I want to say right now. His wife's on Instagram is pineapple pinup.
Since we were sitting across from each other like a good distance, I had to hand you your own little stack that if you would like to.
So am I supposed to blend these up and just take them, or?
Yeah, just pick out 3. I mean, you can mix them up, male and female, if you want to. I'm going to keep mine separate so we can still do that. I'm also going to still throw out like ones that I've come up with myself because these are just names.
Maybe we'll just alternate back and forth between the cards.
Okay. Yeah.
Or some shit, maybe.
I'm going to start. And I will do with females. So I'll just take the top 3 that I have here. Which, again, I haven't looked at these, so I don't know who these are. We may have to look them up, so there might still be some dead air. But Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh God!
I feel like she is one that's been.
I think we've had her in the past. Yeah.
Yep. Chrissy Teigen.
Yep, I know who that is.
Who is it? The name sounds familiar, but
did you ever watch? Oh man, it was the lip sync battles.
No.
Okay. She was like the eye candy / co-host of lip sync battles.
Okay.
LL Cool J ran it. She's
I know what you're
married
talking
to I can't remember his name now.
Somebody named Tegan?
No.
No? Okay.
She is. It's kind of a black R&B singer. I don't know. For some reason, his name's escaping me. But yeah.
I will look her up while you give yours, since I'm asking you. But Jennifer Lawrence, Chrissy Teigen, and Victoria Beckham. You know, is that Mr. Beckham's wife?
I think so.
Okay, well,
maybe not. Once again, we're going to consort Google really quick here. For those of you who happen to like Victoria Beckham and are upset that I don't know, my apologies.
Well, so much for the dead air thing. Still.
Yeah, right.
It's okay. Okay, that's Chrissy Teigen. Okay, she's 39 years old. All right.
Victoria Beckham is a fashion designer and singer.
Chrissy Teigen, by the way, is married to John Legend.
That's it.
Okay.
Yes, John Legend.
Okay. And then I'm also going to have to look up Victoria Beckham because I'm not sure who that is.
Yeah, her spouse is David Beckham.
Like the Bend It Like Beckham guy? Is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, apparently the Bend It Like Beckham guy.
Okay. Oh, that's Posh Spice. I know who that is.
Huh?
That's Posh from the Spice Girls.
Okay. Sure.
I think. I'm
Yes,
pretty
she
sure.
was nicknamed Posh Spice.
Okay. Yeah. See, I know things.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, you know
Right.
things after you Google. We all know things after we Google. Wikipedia that bitch.
There's no proof. There's no video. Okay.
I
so
can go live right now.
Jennifer Lawrence, Victoria Beckham, and Chrissy Teigen. Marry, fuck, kill.
Oh
Go.
God. I'm marrying Jennifer Lawrence. That's just that shouldn't even be a surprise. I don't even need to say why. But I will. Mystique. Anyway, and we're gonna kill Chrissy Teigen. Just nothing better to do on that one, I guess. And we'll take a night with Posh.
All right. I think I'm in agreement with you actually, because Chrissy Teigen's aight, but nothing special. To me, anyways. Sorry. John Legend. Don't take any offense. Each their own. Victoria Beckham. Just looking at pictures of her now, she didn't age all that well. So I'll take that night with her. I will kill Chrissy Teigen, and then I'm gonna marry Jennifer Lawrence myself. So
doing these marry fuck kills, I'm not even gonna lie. I don't feel quite as petty or shallow after you give some of your answers. I really don't.
Well, I'm good. I'm glad I can make you feel better about yourself, I guess.
Nah.
But see my point, though? The male ones are just so much more entertaining and more difficult. That took us 30 seconds. So we just made it last a little bit longer. But
Well, I mean, I guess if that's how you want to look at
okay,
it.
let's get into the list. Got the first marry, fuck, kill out of the way. I'll start since I'm the one that suggested this topic. My number 10, and I'll be perfectly honest, when I was making this list, I had it full of males, and then I was like, man, I know I'm a sexist, but I don't want to make everyone else aware of that. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not a sexist, but I was like, man, I gotta have a female in here. There's been some bad females, or some good bad females, if you know what I mean. So after searching for a little while, I determined that my number 10 is going to be Lena Headey. She played Cersei Lannister on Game of Thrones. She is a very, very evil person. Or a very evil character. If you were a Game of Thrones fan.
Yeah, but I mean, she had a entire kingdom that her ancestries built. And that's definitely a play on words for anyone who's watched it. Just so you know, I do know the proper word is ancestry, but I'm pretty sure their ancestries were. So here's the really fucking weird part about you bringing her up as your number 10 is I'm currently rewatching the series with my oldest daughter.
Okay.
Because she's like really big into the fantasy shows and everything. And I even told her, I'm like, there's probably going to be some really uncomfortable shit that you're going to see in the shows. I don't really know if you really want to watch this or not. But then again, I have audiobooked some of the books she reads. And I'm just like, yeah, there's really nothing in that show that's worse than the fucking goddamn smut this kid's put down without me knowing, because I audiobooked a couple of the books after she read them, and I'm like, well, I mean, for whatever that is worth, damage is fucking done. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, that's not bad. Which is funny because I have one female that made the list.
All right, so we're both sexist.
Much higher up though. She's in my top 5, and a lot of people are going to be like, yo, damn, because because going back and looking through this list, I was like, wow, man, none of these really I didn't pull very many newer freaking films and
Okay.
shows out, you know. This is all stuff I remembered from, 10, 20 plus years ago. Some even older than that. But I think it's just a difference in, I tried to stay away from like superhero movies and stuff because, I mean, obviously you're going to go with the bad of the bad or the bad of the worst, so to speak. It'd be really easy to overshadow that list with nothing but super villains that's been in live action films because obviously the destruction scale could be so much more. So I kind of stuck into a little more demented, darker, just individuals in general.
Okay.
So my number 10 is probably one that I doubt's going to be on your list, but it's Alonzo Harris from Training Day, which was the character Denzel played.
Yeah.
That was just this really dark, twisted, drug-dealing cop, right? And you don't see Denzel play the villain very often, and he really kind of he brought an energy to that role where you were just like, wow, this guy can play someone really super dark. You know what I mean? So it was kind of cool.
That's tremendous. I love that character and Denzel obviously made your list.
Yeah, I mean, Denzel is easily one of my favorite actors. I will pretty much watch anything Denzel's in. He is just phenomenal at what he does. And Training Day was just that
Oh God, love Training
different
Day.
level of what he could put out, and he doesn't do that very often. So,
All right, I'm on board. That's
so I started out
tremendous.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh shit, I have 2 females on my list. Never mind.
all right.
I win.
So
Maybe.
so I took a slightly different approach to my list, as we normally do. We always kind of view these differently, which is why our dynamic works, I think. I have some superhero movie villains on here, but I wasn't necessarily putting them on my list based on the character entirely.
Mm-hmm.
It was more of the actor's portrayal of the character. Which brings me to my number 9, which is my first superhero movie villain. And it's Arthur Fleck, played by Joaquin, however you say his name, Joaquin Phoenix, in The Joker.
Yeah.
And The Joker 2, however you say that French shit. Yeah, so Arthur Fleck.
Yeah. That's that was almost a version of the Joker that I severely struggled with.
That's fair.
I mean,
That's completely fair. Have you watched the second one yet?
No.
Okay. So, spoiler alert to the people who've not watched it, and many are probably like, I'm not watching it because it's a musical, blah, 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 blah. First of all, the second one was fantastic. I hate musicals. I'm not a musical person. Like, as soon as Disney movies start singing, I'm out. Like, I don't want
so all of them except for what, Emperor's New Groove?
basic, which isn't that a music kind of thing? I've also never watched that one, but New Groove, that's music. You would think it'd be musical. But anyways, back to what I was saying.
There is a lot of music in it, but not singing.
Okay.
Does that make
Well, then
sense?
maybe I'll
So
give it a shot.
He does a lot of dancing and back and forth. There's very, very, very small, tiny little snippet of singing, but it's not a song.
Okay. So, but yes, back to what you stated, pretty much all of them. So yes, I'm out. I don't like musicals. I just don't. But there's different ways to tell stories in movies and in television and everything. There's different ways to tell stories. And The Joker 2 did that. It used a musical, because there's a lot of singing, so fine, fuck it, call it a musical. But I enjoyed that because the songs that they sang, the way they sang them, the
Yeah.
times that they suddenly out of nowhere were sang,
Right.
added to the craziness that is Harley Quinn and the Joker. Here's
Right.
where the spoiler comes in. Okay, so if you don't want to spoiler for the movie, close your ears for the next 30 seconds.
Use your skip button.
Or skip. There you go. At the end of Joker 2, Arthur Fleck is killed. He is killed by the guy who is most likely, you can kind of put 2 and 2 together, the real Joker. Like Joker, the one that everyone else knows as Joker.
Okay.
So Arthur Fleck was never actually the Joker.
So then what was the point of the two films?
To lead up to the actual Joker.
Got a 4-hour lead up to an actual film. That is bro,
Watch
what
them.
kind of time do they think I have? Like,
Well, I had plenty of time to watch it, and I absolutely loved the second Joker and the first one. So,
and he says he doesn't like musicals, but A Star is Born and Sound of Music he watches at least 3 times a year. So,
is Magic Mike considered a musical? I've actually never watched that either, but my number 9,
Oh
Joaquin
my
Phoenix,
God.
Arthur Fleck.
Oh man! All right, so my number 9 is Joan Crawford from a movie from 1981 called Mommy Dearest. If you haven't seen that, it is I guess it would be put under psychological thriller horror. You want to talk about manipulation, mastermind, and mental abuse at its finest? And it's a mother who does it to her own 2 children, or 2 adopted children, which even makes it worse. And the movie kind of comes through and kind of almost ends. The younger girl actually goes and gets a role acting, only to find out that her mother is still pulling strings, manipulating, and doing things behind the scenes, which is it's just this creepy ending to everything. Like, she's never going to get out from underneath the controlling aspect of what's going on. And I'm just talking about, you have to really watch it to get it, because no matter how I would describe it, doesn't really do the whole theory of it justice, other than the fact that the lengths of insanity this woman would go through to absolutely, quote unquote, keep control of something is ridiculous. It becomes very dark, very sinister, very quickly, without giving you that jump scare, someone's going to die. It will kind of make you look at everyone around you a little bit differently when you're done watching it.
Right.
But it's very beautifully written, and she is very sadistic by the time it comes out in the end.
Who plays the character again?
I believe Faye Dunaway plays the main character.
Okay.
If I'm not
How much do you?
mistaken, yeah, Faye Dunaway actually plays glamorous yet lonely star Joan Crawford, and I'm. There's been debate over the years if it's actually based on a real story or not, or based on things that actually happened. Some people say yes, some people say no. It's still masterfully written out and acted.
How much? Okay, there you go. You said acting. How much do you credit her portrayal of the character to why you would put that character on this list? Like, if someone else would have played it, or do you think that she just mastered that portrayal?
No, I think she pretty much nailed it about as well as anyone was going to nail that.
Okay.
Like I said, when it gets down, she nailed it just as good, because the other female that's on my list that's higher up, I don't believe you could have put anyone else in that role and it would have been better. I think it could have been worse. I don't think it would have been better. And I view her role in this just the same way I view the other woman in her role in this. And this other woman is known for playing in horror films and playing these really creepy roles. She did, I don't know how many seasons of American Horror Story on FX.
Yeah.
In her later years. And she's just
I already know who you're talking about. Don't give too much more away.
masterful at this stuff.
Okay.
So, but yeah, it's like, I credit her in another film later down the line, but absolutely, I think she nailed that role really, really well.
All right. The reason I ask is because that's kind of how I did my list. Was
Yeah, and you know what? I'll agree with you. Like, Joaquin Phoenix, he nails the mentally disturbed part of that role.
yes, absolutely.
Not as well as another actor did, but he's very, very, very close. Very, very, very close. He has his own spin on it that I think is very unique, that I don't think another actor would have been able to have done. but nailing the true mental psychotic version of it, I still have to give to Ledger.
Again, Ledger was playing Joker, and Joaquin was playing Arthur Fleck.
Joaquin.
What did I call him?
Joaquin.
That's what I said earlier, and you said that's his name.
Well, I mean, I know his name, but it's Joaquin Phoenix.
Well, correct me the first time, so I don't do it twice.
I don't know. It's just fun to let you roll with it every once in a while.
Oh God, I'm looking at a list, and I was reading it how.
Yes, it is an odd spelling, but typically that spelling is Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix. Okay,
Yes.
I knew I was saying it wrong.
His brother had a much easier name
I
to
hate
pronounce.
the fact that you let me go with it, though. Joaquin Phoenix. Okay. Well,
Like I said, his brother had a much easier name to pronounce.
my number 8 is someone that I do know how to pronounce their name.
Oh,
Yep. The actor is Anthony Hopkins, and he played Hannibal Lecter.
wow, that low?
It's that low, but it's my list. I take it that means it's going to come back up on your list.
Yes,
little bit,
it will.
A little bit higher.
It
okay.
will. It will.
We always have at least one. Yeah. The ones that are above this, I feel.
Please silence your phones in the theater.
My
so
phone
we
is
don't,
silenced. That's why I don't know why the fucking thing just went off.
disturb any other patrons from enjoying the show.
Anthony Hopkins, Hannibal Lecter. He is my number 8. He could go anywhere on this list, but I think the ones above him, I could probably just. I don't know. Like I said, they're all kind of just. They're on my list.
I mean, I agree with you. He could go anywhere on the list. I'm just trying to figure out how you got, 7 more people in front of him to that degree. I mean, definitely your list.
I'll try to make a case for each one of them why they're above Anthony Hopkins.
I mean, Anthony Hopkins is, in my opinion, one of the he is one of the most versatile actors you can have. He's played almost every role, but Hannibal Lecter is almost a role that he was born to play. I can't. Anytime after I saw Silence of the Lambs, or any of the other films following, right? Even went back and looked up Manhunter, which he wasn't in, but it was the start of the Hannibal Lecter story in the movie franchise. But I see any other film he played in, like he was acting in a film about, or in a TV series about Rome, and I'm just sitting there going, that's Hannibal Lecter. That's not Anthony Hopkins. Why is Hannibal Lecter in a toga? I mean, like, I don't see him. It's hard for me to see him as anything else. Just like I know Vin Diesel's played in all 57 Fast and Furious films, but he will always be Riddick to me. I will never see him as anything other than Riddick.
That's not the comparison that I would make. I feel like we've
when I say people are born for a role,
right?
Like I think Anthony Hopkins was born for Hannibal Lecter.
I agree with that about your statement. But
whereas I think
Vin Diesel as Riddick is not one that would have came to mind. Maybe it is for you, but one that comes to mind. I think we've talked about this on the podcast. Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool. Hugh Jackman is Wolverine.
Oh yeah,
those are the ones that I would say. Anthony Hopkins is Hannibal Lecter.
Absolutely.
So that's I was agreeing with everything you were saying.
You just didn't like my
just
example.
The Vin Diesel. I'm like, I guess whatever. But
well, a lot of people. I mean, not that people wouldn't know Hugh Jackman or Ryan Reynolds because those are two very, very, very popular. But I mean, everyone knows, the Fast and Furious films by some degree, as well. Yeah, not everyone watches Marvel,
but they don't know Riddick. That was. Okay.
Well, that's their fault. That's not my fault.
All right. What is your next one on your list?
My number 8. My number 8 is John Doe from the movie Seven. It's played by Kevin Spacey. And you're right. It's an I know we have covered the movie Seven on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was on your list at that point in time. But to be able to create fear for a character for almost an hour before they get on screen. And then Spacey steps in and gives a performance that just cements the holy shit in your head. And the dialogue at the end where they finally get that you're not going to get anything better. You're not going to get anything almost more terrifying. The fact that you are almost dreading the reveal of this villain because of the devastational freaking wake that he's left. So he got number 8, and that was Kevin Spacey playing John Doe in the movie Seven.
Okay. You gave me a little grief about Anthony Hopkins being so low on my list.
Now you're going to tell me I should have been higher?
I'm not saying like Kevin Spacey is not on my list. But
Right.
the reasoning that you just gave him for putting on your list, the next 7 on your list better have better reasoning to be higher, is all I'm saying.
There's different measures of psychopaths out there.
Yeah.
And different ways actors play it. I think that you have to have a different. Kevin Spacey did so well in that role, but I'm not sure how well he would have done if they would have drug him out for an hour on screen. So there's differences in how they pull that off. He's very sadistic, very well put together, very well delivered in that. And House of Cards kind of gives him the ability to be the villain for longer.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure that villain, how it would have played out differently in longer aspects on screen.
I got you. Okay. My number 7, and as I'm looking at this, I probably should have swapped places with Anthony Hopkins, but Michael B. Jordan, Black Panther, he plays Killmonger. And I know that doesn't probably stand out to very many people as, oh my God, but I just thought that Michael B. Jordan played the Killmonger role so exquisitely, perfectly, however you want to say it. I don't think anybody else could have been cast in that role and he would have played it better. That's why he makes my list. And then the villain of Killmonger is just a tremendous foe to go against Black Panther. And hopefully the Marvel movies will circle back to that and build, even though Black Panther's person who played Black Panther is dead, so they probably aren't going to do.
Probably not, but
Michael B. Jordan also is a phenomenal actor. Everything he's in, I 100% am behind. I haven't seen him do bad from Fruitvale Station.
he does
was
very well in
fantastic.
all the films and all the
Creed,
situations.
yes.
Yeah. I mean, he's a well-rounded, well-diverse actor. He's definitely not a what I would call one cast actor, but I've always enjoyed all of Michael B. Jordan's films, and so that's my I mean, definitely brings the brute force to the villainhood in that one. I would say, and it's always kind of cool when you see a clash in that aspect on it. Yeah. So, that brings us what? We're on number 7.
Yep, that was my number 7.
Your number 7. So my number 7 for villains in movies, live action villains in movies. My number 7 would absolutely 100% be Alex DeLarge, which would be the villain from A Clockwork Orange. If anybody remembers A Clockwork Orange.
I actually know the movie, but never seen it.
Really?
That's probably a sin. I know.
I'll be honest, dude. Clockwork Orange really covers some interesting, just the whole utopian government fallen aftermath, drugging the people, which the way they did it was they were drugging the milk and gangs were running 100% rampant. It was kind of almost like gang territories and stuff. I mean, and they really didn't shy away from anything in that movie. The violence, rape, holy shit. And you have the iconic villain of a gang, and it's just performance after performance to keep this psychopathic outlook of everything going, and just the fluidity that he did it in was pretty intense. And it's just, I'm not going to say a whole lot. You need to watch.
Yeah,
you need to watch A Clockwork Orange.
I can't really comment.
I mean,
I just have to listen because I haven't seen it, but
It's one of those movies that I think everybody should see at least once. I mean, you don't get a lot of storytelling like what they put in some of these older films anymore. You have a lot of storytelling now that has to be very careful on not upsetting, people or triggering other things or there's a lot of what I kind of fear is tiptoeing around a lot of different stuff, which was back then they just didn't give a fuck who they offended. They were going to put this out whether it was a good story or not a good story. They were going to throw this out there and just let it be what it was and let people interpret it how they wanted to interpret it. And the next thing you know, you either had a movie that everybody hated in the end or a movie that kind of withstood the test of time. And I really think A Clockwork Orange really withstands the test of time on this. I mean, there's still a lot of people who own this film, a lot of people who still kind of think back of, yeah, that was a really fucked up film, but I still liked it. I still own it. I still watch it. It's usually one of those once a year watches for me.
Okay.
Don't really want to watch it more than that, but every once in a while, you're like, I'm kind of in the mood for A Clockwork Orange. Let's just get reminded how fucked up we don't want our society to be.
Okay. All right. So we are in the top 6. You want to go ahead and pull those cards out? You have
We're gonna do Mary Fuck
A
Kill.
little split up
So
here.
are we doing the blue cards or the pink cards this
Hey,
time?
it's in your hand, sir.
Since you did the pink cards, I guess I'll do the blue cards. So our 3 Mary Fuck. This is so fucked. I know exactly how you're gonna answer this shit. I know exactly how you're gonna answer. So Mary Fuck Kill is Bradley Cooper,
Oh shit.
Channing Tatum,
Oh shit.
and Chris Helmsworth.
Damn. All right. And I know who all 3 of those are, so I don't have to
I know
look
you
them
don't
up.
have to Google none of them. Like I know
All
who
right.
all 3 of them are too. But
So okay,
at the same
you,
point in time,
you know exactly how it's going to go. So let's hear who do you think I want to marry,
oh, Channing Tatum,
and who do you think I'm going to fuck?
probably Chris Helmsworth,
And
which
that
means you're gonna kill Bradley Cooper, right?
means I'm going to kill Bradley Cooper.
Now he's gonna change it up just
No.
for the hell of it.
I think I would probably actually do that. If anything, I would fuck Channing and marry Hemsworth. But
Really?
my reasoning for that would be because I feel like Hemsworth probably has more money. So marrying him makes more sense than just fucking him. But Channing, I guess, could very possibly be on the level millionaire-wise, especially now that he's entering Marvel movies. So I'm going to go with it. I'm going to say I would marry Channing Tatum. I would fuck Hemsworth, and I would unfortunately kill Bradley Cooper because he is a sexy mofo too.
Oh, jeez.
I would snipe him if you
snipe him.
if you know the reference, then makes sense. If not, then just ignore it.
I'm sure a lot of people out there know that reference.
How
Not
about
one
you?
I'm super familiar with. No. So.
It's a movie that he played.
Oh shoot! Yeah, no.
It's-
Okay, I thought
just
you were
stupid.
talking about something like a pickup line or some dumb shit. No, I know sniper. Holy shit. Okay, so I have to do Mary Fuck Kill on these 3 dudes. All right. I guess I'm going to. Let's go with. I'll kill Bradley Cooper, I guess. Yeah, probably the same as you. Marry Chris Hemsworth. I don't know. There's no good. There's no good realm on this one. It's like I'm not really interested in doing any of that with any of the dudes, as far as these 3 guys go. But it's fun.
All right.
So yeah, I would have to do the exact same thing. Not sure there's any other way around that one for me. I mean, just because I don't want to marry the Magic Mike motherfucker. I just don't.
But okay, then look at it this way: you're marrying Gambit.
I can't hardly look at that because Magic Mike's kind of ruined that whole persona for me, which is so sad. So,
Are you live right now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Live on what?
TikTok.
Oh.
So,
Can they hear me?
I think so. I don't know if you can hear the co-host or not.
Hi, Matthews, TikTok
Give me
followers,
a,
if you can.
Hit up if you can. If you can't, cool.
All right. go
Got
ahead.
people kind of coming in and out, so it's just kind of fun. If anybody does come through, come in. It's a podcast we're recording right now, where we do top 10 lists. You can find it on Apple, Spotify, Google, wherever you look at get your favorite podcast at. The Inappropriates. I've posted on here every time I've put out a episode. So just giving a quick peek into how it goes and what we're doing. And since we're actually in a really nice studio, I figured why not go live, see how it goes. So kind of excited about this one here. But thanks everyone for floating in and out. Thanks everyone for joining in. Jim, hey, how you doing? So, all right, we are on to
Number 6.
number 6. Yes.
I believe it's my turn, but you can take over. What's your number 6?
All right, so number 6 on my list of movie villains is Norman Stansfield from Leon the Professional. If anybody remembers that film,
Another one.
Dude.
I haven't seen.
Haven't
Actually,
seen
that
Leon the
one. I
Professional?
don't even know if I've heard of.
Gary Oldman is in the film as the villain, and it's about a hitman who finds a young girl on the street that's actually played by a very, very young Natalie Portman.
Okay.
And he trains her to be a hitman, trains her to snipe, kill, take the headshots.
Okay.
Such an interesting movie, dude.
What is it called? Leon the
It's called
Professional?
Leon the Professional. It's actually a derivative from, hey, Savannah. It's actually a derivative from an old anime film called Kite. Now,
Surprise, surprise. I've
it's
also never heard of
not-
that.
It's not as dark as Kite because that. Oh my god, there was 2 Kite movies and oh shit, they get dark. They get very, very dark. But it kind of runs that vein. There's actually a live action Kite movie that was made where Samuel L. Jackson plays the lead. But yeah, so there's a lot of these films that have crossed over into that. But Leon the Professional was also inspired by the anime Kite.
Okay. That's another one I'm gonna have to check out.
Mhm.
And what's the character's name? The villain that you chose?
Oh, the villain, Norman Stansfield.
Norman Stansfield. That's a good villain name too.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah, so you've got to go home and watch Leon the Professional, man.
I'm probably going to have to. I'm not going to be able to tonight, but I will put it on my
You have
list
to
of things.
put
I
it
need to
on
check out.
the list to look up, figure
Yeah.
out where to stream that from, since we can't go to Blockbuster and rent that no more.
Did you go to Blockbuster or Hollywood Video, or also was a First Choice? Do you remember First Choice Video?
I do. I went to both Blockbuster and Hollywood, dude. I wasn't really partial to either one. Wherever I could get the movie I wanted to watch, I
got
ran
you.
to
Okay.
and got.
So I don't know why, but it's very much like Nintendo, Sega, or PlayStation, Xbox.
Right.
Where I was from, it was
Oh, they both had so loyal
Blockbuster, Hollywood
following,
Video.
right,
Yeah. Okay.
right.
And then I found myself at
Couldn't be friends with
First
them
Choice.
because they went to freaking Hollywood. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Anybody that's below the age of 30 has no fucking clue what we're talking about.
Oh yeah, most likely. Yeah. Like, what was Blockbuster? I mean, I remember getting Netflix videos in the mail. Like, does anybody even remember getting Netflix videos in the mail? Like,
Right.
holy shit, I do. I used to get like 5 of them bitches at a time. I think I paid for the five videos to get sent, and you just mailed them back when you were done.
Yeah.
So I would watch the movie, put it back in, throw it in the mailbox, and while I'm watching the next movie, the first one's on its way back. And I just had a revolving run of movies at one point. Like every night, I was watching something. I was completely just
And that's probably why you've seen Clockwork
vegging,
Orange
vegging
and
my ass on a couch for 2 years. I'd go to work, come home, and watch movies.
Hey. Well, this is a movie that I hope you've watched, even though it's come up before on one of our lists and you kind of cringed. So you can cringe again if you would like. But I think the portrayal of Tony Montana by Al Pacino on Scarface 100% is one of the top villains in live action. There's a lot of
No, it's a good villain.
there's a lot of people that
I
would,
wouldn't put it in my top 10 movies, but it's a good villain. I
Okay.
like it.
a lot of people wouldn't even consider him a villain because this made like being a drug dealer cool. So like everybody wanted to be Tony Montana. And I mean it's still in music nowadays. People talking about Tony Montana this, Tony Montana that. So I don't even know if he's really a villain, but he's supposed to be. So he's my number 6 top live action villain. And again, another person, I don't know of anybody else that could have played that role better than Al Pacino. Maybe there's an actor out there now that could, but at that time, Al Pacino was Tony Montana.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's an iconic role for Al Pacino, dude. Like he's known for Tony Montana, right? Like that's one of his absolutely iconic, 100% iconic roles. So I don't have a disagreement with that being a villain on your list at all. Like because that is one of the bigger, like, you know, no matter where you go, people know Tony Montana. People still quote that film, right? People still want to. There's still kind of almost an idolization of
Exactly, that's what I was talking about. People,
how he is, like that. The man had charisma and confidence, and just kind of badass to boot at it, right? You know, so it's all fun, it's all good there. All right, so that leads me to my number 5.
Top 5, baby.
So we're breaching that halfway mark, climbing the mountain to the dragon lair, so to speak, and that is Candyman.
Ooh.
Candyman from the same movie, Candyman, played by Tony Todd.
Okay, I was going to ask, are you talking about the original?
Yes.
Or the remake? Which the remake is good too.
The remake's good, but
Tony Todd
that
is Candyman,
original villain,
R.I.P. by the way.
He struck fear in you, I think, more than the remake did, in my opinion. Like, he actually just put that together, you know? There's not really any way, in my opinion, that you could have something like the Candyman film without Tony Todd. Like, you know, people can try to duplicate that, but they'll never be the original guy. And yeah, you're right. Rest in peace, Tony Todd. Obviously, he's played so many iconic roles over his career, but Candyman really stands out because of he was just that maniacal in it.
Yeah,
he just had that entire. I don't know. From the first time he shows up, there's just this ominous feel that, okay, shit's about ready to go really bad, really fast. You know what I'm saying? So,
all right. My number 5. This one is maybe from left field for some of you guys, maybe you including, but it's Mikey Knox from Natural Born Killers, played by Woody Harrelson. Another actor that I think everything he does, I love what he does, but he plays a crazy fucking convict with his side piece also, but
yes.
Him specifically,
yes,
amazing in that film. And again, it almost makes being a escaped convict cool though. So I don't know, but yeah,
I mean,
Mikey Knox.
Here's the thing, right? Like,
Mom's gonna love that one, by the way. She's a big Natural Born Killers fan.
And Natural Born Killers, in my opinion, is one of those. How do I put it? It's my favorite Tarantino, non-Tarantino film. A lot of people don't know the backstory behind Natural Born Killers, and that's where Quentin wrote it, and he wanted to make it, but he didn't have the money or the backing to do it, so he sold the script, and they kind of came to him and said, we kind of like what you have going here, and he goes, here's exactly how it should play out. And he goes, here's my exact vision for it. And, you know, I heard on another podcast where he was talking about his vision for it, and the only thing I kept thinking was, I need to see this version because it's actually darker, more twisted, right?
Oh, damn.
like Tarantino, we all know what Tarantino can write. We all know how dark Tarantino can get. This was like legitimately supposed to be his darkest film. And so the guy who produced it and filmed it and put it out there, he ended up rewriting the script. So it wasn't Tarantino's work at that point. He took a lot of stuff out, kind of rewrote it, kind of did whatever. You know, Woody Harrelson was already on board to play this, and he wanted to do it. And he found out Tarantino wrote it, kind of went to him and goes, I don't know what to do. He goes, play the role. He goes, don't stop making your money because I sold the script. Play the role. He goes, you're going to do phenomenal at it, which honestly, Tarantino was right. He did phenomenal at that role.
Yeah.
One of my favorite Woody Harrelson roles of all time, right? Like Woody Harrelson can play a lot of roles, but damn, he played a damn good psychopath in that one, right?
Yep.
So at that point, you're sitting there, you're kind of looking at it, you're going through it, you're seeing what is going on, and the next thing you know, out comes Natural Born Killers. But I can't help but wonder what would Natural Born Killers have been. And in the credits, Tarantino is given a nod for script written by or original story by Tarantino. He goes, he just wished his name never got put on it. He just wished his name would have been left off of it altogether because he doesn't feel like it was his work. Which, of course, you sold your work to someone else and they put their interpretation on it, which is that's what happens.
Yeah.
But he really just wished he would have sat on it and wrote something else because Tarantino wrote a lot of plays and a lot of movies that he sold that he didn't put his name on that he used to get money capital up to make his next film, which is, kind of cool. That's how that happens, but.
Well, Tarantino, if you're listening, it's not too late.
I think a lot of water and bad feelings have gone under the bridge for that. But I agree, Tarantino, if you ever hear this, please make that movie. Make it what it was supposed to be. I've loved every Tarantino film I've ever watched, and I will stand on that hill.
Yep.
Absolutely stand on that hill.
I'm there with you.
So, good number 5, man.
See, I told you. Now you understand why
Yeah,
Anthony Hopkins is
good number 5. I don't know if I would kind of put him very closely on the same level as Hopkins in that role because he really executed that role so well.
Yeah.
I can't not say he didn't. I have zero complaints on how he executed the role. Kind of the same with Hopkins. I have zero complaints on how he executed that role. Hopkins is just a little more personal for me, I guess.
I got you.
I don't know.
Okay. Fair enough.
I don't know.
So it's your number 4 right now, right?
Yes, number
Well,
4.
Before you go to number 4, we should go to an ad break. That's right. We have ads now. No, fucks. We don't. If you weren't listening in the beginning of the podcast, I said the only people that listen are the people I make listen. So we don't have ads yet. But if you want to sponsor us or us to play an ad, please reach out and we will be happy to do so.
Oh, shit.
Go ahead, give your number 4. I just had to get that in.
You know, it's funny. Even if they want, we can go really old school and do like the old TV commercials. After these messages,
Yes.
we'll be right back.
That's 100% what we are going to do, just so you guys know. But who would sponsor us? Cialis, maybe? Blue Chew?
I'll take it.
Plan B, maybe?
Oh, shit.
Well, those could all go back to back. Why not?
Today's sponsorship is brought to you by Blue Chew and coat hangers. If you can't figure out the combination between that, then we can't help you.
We are a perfect podcast for the sponsorship. Hit us up, guys. All right.
That's right. Is your woman unsatisfied? Is your birchwood just a little too flexible? Get Blue Chew. Blue Chew makes you rock hard like an oak tree.
Well, they're not sponsoring us yet. Hold on.
I'm practicing.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Fair
I mean,
enough.
it's better than like
that's free one.
Today we're sponsored by Skittles. Taste the rainbow.
There's a laugh track button, but I don't know how to use it.
The green ones make you horny.
What's your number 4?
Today's brought to you by Blue Chew and Green Skittles. One makes you horny, the other gets you hard. It's like having 2 prostitutes with 2 very different personalities. I'm on a tangent now, motherfucker.
Go
what do
for
you
it.
want?
And this is why we're the Inappropriates.
Want to see if she can swallow a hard banana? I'm sorry. When's the last time she bounced a quarter off your ball sack? Anyway, all right, I'm done. And why do I keep going to the voice? The summer. I mean, I don't know.
You have that one in your gay voice. Those are both.
Seriously, stop it. We're all 4, right? I'm
Yes,
I'm
we are.
completely off kilter.
We are
at
not
this
on
point.
number 4.
Like, I thought you were going to do a Marry, Fuck, Kill, and then we went into a
know.
sponsorship, and then I went way off the rails on this shit. And, like, everybody at work and everybody in your family is going to be like, Nate, sit down. We need to talk. The fuck are you doing this with? We don't think. We know he's mentally deranged, and we're worried about the influence he's having on you, and we're pretty sure that you might want to stop hanging out.
I think it's the absolute opposite, just so you know. But
I seriously not wrong. That's such a nice boy. You should hang out with him more often.
that's
Maybe
more
have
like
him
it.
over for dinner.
That's more like
We
it.
can all sit around and talk about what a queef is.
You come over for dinner, I guarantee my mother would say, "Marry, fuck, kill."
I'm like, cool, let's play. You're not in the mix, are you? It's going to get personal, and then it's going to turn into truth and dare, and then I have no idea what's happening after that. I mean, you know what they say when the lights go out. I mean, anyway, this is good chicken. Jesus. Don't get me on a tangent about honey mustard sauce now. All right, number 5. Number 5 is Annie Wilkes from the movie Misery, played by Catherine Bateman. Or Kathy Bateman. Not much I can say about this film other than if you haven't seen it, go see it. You want to talk about psychotic mixed with torture, mixed with just some absolute insanity. It's such almost a shocking ride as you go through it, even though, yes, it is a much older film. But I'm sorry, there is a thing with a 4x4 and a sledgehammer that will just make you cringe and limp for 2 days, and it didn't happen to you. You know what I mean?
I actually,
So.
that was one of the ones I debated
Nate.
putting on this list. What'd you say? Oh, there's
I just say.
Nate in TikTok.
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
my name's also Nate, so that's what?
Yes,
What?
yeah, I know. Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
Sorry.
Nate looks like leader joined, so I was just saying, hey.
Well, hey Nate. But yeah, I debated on having her on this list also when I was saying I needed to have a female on my top 10.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I decided to leave her off and go with Lena Headey. So I'm glad that you have her on yours.
I mean, it was kind of going through the list of villains and thinking about that. I'm like, there wasn't a lot of arguments for not putting her on this list. And if I had to trim it down to one movie, like Misery is the one that comes to mind.
Mhm.
But when you look at Kathy Bateman's full filmography, like, it's chock full. She's really good at playing something psychotic. And
Makes you wonder.
That's kind of like one of those things you're going, wow. She's embodied that role everywhere she's done it. Everything from film to TV to anything in between. And she's even done some voice acting work where she plays like a villain, and she's just really fucking good at it. So,
Okay. My number 4, and this is one that I probably could have had Anthony Hopkins above, but I have him as my number 4. And the reason being is because when I first found out he was playing this character, I was like, that he's not big enough. He doesn't remind me of this person. I'm like, no. But then after I watched one episode, it's a series, of him playing this character, I was like, oh, he is Kingpin. And my number 4 is Kingpin, played by Vincent. I cannot say his last name. His first name is Vincent. His last name starts with a D, and he plays the Kingpin. I can't say his name. I'm going to butcher it, so I'm not even going to attempt to try to say it.
wasn't one of his starting roles in Full Metal Jacket?
Yes, he was Private Pyle in...
Okay, like, that right there should have kind of cued you in on he can kind of cross that line.
Oh, yeah.
Just because of how well he played that role and how amazing it ended up being. I love it. And it's kind of one of those things where, yeah, I could definitely see that. And
It wasn't his acting, though, that made me question why he was cast for the role. It literally comes right down to his look. If you are familiar with the Spider-Man comics and Kingpin is a massive motherfucker and bald, which obviously he's bald in the series. But I was like, no. But his acting, I was like, oh, that's him. He's Kingpin. And I
Right.
don't want to see anybody else play Kingpin. That's...
he took that role and really turned it into something special to a degree. As much as you want to say special, but he really did. He took that role and he took it to I think he probably knew he was behind the eight ball going into that role a little bit because whenever you do anything Marvel comic related, there's a high expectation from fans that you're going to live up to every single person's fantasy in their head of what that character is and what that character can do, and that goes with the heroes as well as the villains. And he's one of those few characters that I think lived up to, I want to say, over 85% of people's expectations, and that's excruciatingly hard to do. There's a lot of people that can't pull that off. I mean, look at certain films like Green Lantern and a few other I'm not gonna mention, where it just did not live up to expectations altogether. Yeah. But he almost made that series what it was, as much as the guy playing Daredevil, right? Like he ended up becoming almost just as he was almost just as integral of a part to making that show a success. And usually the villain kind of drives the protagonist forward, but they take the story. Like in this instance, they were almost as crucial to being on screen together and having their own scenes to make any of that possible. And it was just his ability to play that role. Yeah. I think anyone else in that role kind of been like, all right, well, let me know when Daredevil comes back on the screen. It is what it is. Can't wait to get his ass kicked. On one hand, you still want to see him get his ass kicked, but you also want to make sure don't kick it too much so he comes back next week,
He plays Kingpin in Echo, which is another Marvel series. Which
I haven't seen that one, but I heard he was in it as Kingpin. So
phenomenal. I thought that was great as well.
I really don't turn Disney Plus on much anymore.
When I do, it's for things like that because it's clearly not musicals.
Moon Knight is another one I want to see, but I have not delved into it. I did love the Moon Knight comic books and his cameos and other comics and stuff. It was always really good, and it was always one of those things where I'm just like, did they ruin it? Because they have ruined several shows, in my opinion, and I'm really, really not so inclined to go back and watch other ones because like the last three I tried, I was like, this is just god awful, like. In my opinion. Now, a lot of people praise and rave the same shows that I watched that I said was god-awful, but just in my opinion, it was god-awful.
Yeah.
So, and we are into...
That was my number 4? Did you get you? So you should be number 3
We are
now.
into number 3, the top three. Sadistic. Yeah, man, let's do Marry, Fuck, Kill. Go ahead.
Marry, Fuck, Kill. All right. Should I... Actually, you know what? I'm not going to go off the card because I have some pre-prepared before my wife bought these cards. So I will throw these ones
pre-prepared Marry, Fuck, Kill games. Here we go.
That's right. Okay. And you may have to look some of these people up. I do know that I need to remind myself of one of them. But we've got Sydney Sweeney. Do you know who Sydney Sweeney is?
Not Sydney Sweeney.
She is very popular right now. She was in the Madam Web. I think it's what it's called, Madam Web. She played one of the Spider Women variants, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what the character is.
Okay.
She's in the movie Voyeurs, which I recently watched with my wife. It's about watching someone else have sex and stuff.
I kind of figured.
Okay,
from the
look
name.
her up because you need to know what Sydney Sweeney looks like. Kelly Kuoku. She plays Penny on
yes.
Big Bang Theory.
Yes.
And then Florence Pugh. Florence Pugh, I know who is. I just can't remember, so I'm going to look her up while you
okay.
think about that. Do you know who Florence Pugh is?
No, you have to show me a picture of her.
I will look.
Unfortunately, I can't switch my phone over right now.
Okay. Yes. This is
you are on Google duty currently.
Florence. This is Florence Pugh. I'm showing him.
Okay.
That's Florence Pugh.
Okay.
What is she? Does she play not Black Widow? What is? That's who she is, right? Yeah, that's. Yeah, she plays in Black Widow. She's the.
Okay.
What is her fucking name? I'm gonna drive me crazy now. She plays the sister of Black Widow.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember her name.
Yeah,
yeah, that's Florence Pugh.
Yeah, the sister. Yeah, the sister to Natasha. Yeah, okay.
What the fuck is her name though? And then Sydney Sweeney. I'm gonna look her up for you so you can see her. Not gonna show you any nude pictures, but there's plenty out there if you wanted to look up some nude pictures. She's really popular right now. She also is doing
okay.
some
Cute.
commercials that you've probably seen all.
So, yeah.
Okay. So
Yep,
there's your
yep.
3. You got Sidney Pugh. Wow, I combined the 2. Sydney Sweeney, Florence Pugh, Kelly Cuoco.
Based on everything I've seen, and no.
Mhm.
Kelly Cuoco's gone. We're going to have to kill her.
What do you mean by everything you've seen and no? I'm
The other 2 are way hotter.
Oh, okay, all right. Fair.
I will take the night with Sweeney.
Okay.
I'm definitely marrying the Lauren girl.
Florence, you mean?
Yes, Florence. Yes.
Florence. Okay.
Yes.
So marrying Florence, killing Sydney, or no, sorry, fucking Sydney and killing Kelly. Okay. And
So-
you're just going off a scale of hotness, not off of anything else.
When it comes to those 3 girls, yeah. Because I would probably marry any one of them if they were on
Yeah.
any other list
Yeah.
with any other 2 people, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of made that one a little on the tough side. Like I kind of have a thing for girls like that, and I mean, Penny's definitely up against any other girls. Probably would have really hit for me on the Mary side of that one, without a doubt. But if I have to marry one, I have to get rid of one, and I have to spend the night with one. That's kind of Penny's gonna have to drop off that list for me.
Okay.
So
That's fair. It's respectable. I understand it. Mine's just slightly different. I'm going to marry Kelly Cuoco.
okay, you're gonna marry
I-
Kelly. All
I
right.
do have a thing for Penny. My wife is aware of that, I think.
If not, she is now. And this choice is brought to you by Blue Chew. Blue Chew.
Going to marry Kelly. Won't need any Blue Chew, though, I promise.
We use Blue Chew because fuck Cialis.
And then I'm going to fuck Sydney Sweeney and hoping someone is watching from across the street like in the movie. And then I'm going to
Fuck Sydney Sweeney and hope someone watches. I mean, you can always just post it online, dude. I mean, I'm pretty sure someone will look that up. Probably look her up. You'll just be the supporting cast in that situation. But you know what? You'll still get views.
maybe. And then I am just going to have to fuck Florence Pugh to death. So
Right.
that's that. And no other reason than I have a thing for Kelly. I want to be voyeured with Sydney. And I can't remember the character's name that she plays in Black Widow.
Oh my gosh.
So-
That's awesome.
There's your reasoning for my Marry Fuck Kill. All right, top 3.
Oh man, wow. Into the top 3. Okay, so number 3. Man, this one is the one that really kind of these are the 3 that really you have to put more thought in than most, right? Like you're getting into that I mean, you gotta figure out who's gonna be the big bad dragon, so to speak. You know, if you're gonna climb that mountain and slay that dragon, who's gonna be that big bad dragon, so to speak? So the top 3 are usually, in my opinion, the top 3 could almost interchange out for one. It's just, they all kind of compete in that upper echelon era. But for me, top 3 is a character that was played by Nick Stahl, a character that had honestly very little to no lines in the film at all. Did have some lines, don't get me wrong. This comes from a good God, why am I spacing on the director of this film? It's Frank. All right, I'm on space on the director, and everyone's going to hate me for that. But it's the yellow bastard from Sin City.
That's the Bruce Willis movie, right? Sin City?
Yes, Bruce Willis is in it,
Okay.
along with many other characters.
Well,
Mickey Rourke's in it.
I've actually never seen it.
Elijah, what?
Yeah, I've actually never seen
Dude.
Because it's black and white, right?
Not, yeah, but no.
Okay. So I just tend to stray away from black and white movies.
Dude, it's
Not always.
so good.
I know, I've heard.
It
But I
is-
feel like I'm late to the party.
Oh, you've never seen Sin City.
Nope.
And then there was
I have
Sin
not.
City 2. Dude, you have got to see these films, man. Like, you've got to see these films. Dude,
That one was almost intentionally not seen. The other one was just to have
so
it.
good.
I believe you.
Frank Miller.
See, I knew it would come to you.
Yeah, Frank Miller. Obviously, I didn't take my Alpha Brain this morning.
All right. So the villain in Sin City is your number 3.
Yeah.
And
called
you
the Yellow
feel
Bastard.
like the top 3 are interchangeable. They could all just be
to
one, two.
to a degree.
Okay.
To a degree. I'm still solid on my number 1, man. My number 1
Okay.
is what it's
See,
going to be.
That's what I was going to say. Like, yeah, I think my entire list besides number 1 could probably be moved around. My number 1 is it's number 1, and I'm sensing that maybe we have the same number 1, but we'll see.
Oh, I doubt, but okay.
My number 3 is not going to be on your list. You probably haven't seen this movie. It came out on Christmas Eve, 2024. Me and my wife went to see it when it came out. Was it Christmas Day or Christmas Eve? Either or. It was Christmas, and it was
Right at the holiday where most people don't go to the movie.
Yes, and they definitely don't normally go to see this movie.
Okay.
They did. It turns out they did. A lot of people actually went and seen this.
Nice packed crowd that night.
Nice
packed crowd that
Yeah,
night.
it was.
Nice.
I am a super huge vampire Dracula type person. I'm into everything that has to do with vampires except for Twilight. No, not doing Twilight.
I agree with you
But-
there. 100%.
But
I'm a big vampire genre guy too.
Nosferatu.
I was wondering if that's what you were going to say, Nosferatu. Now, I mean, I have not seen the 2024 version. I have seen
The old one. Yeah.
the black and white version that you don't like to watch because it's in black and white.
Hey,
Dude, my favorite film of all time is in black and white. What the fuck?
I didn't say that I don't like it at all. I just typically avoid them.
Just hurting my heart right now, man. Like,
Go out of your way to see this. I will go watch Sin
it is
City.
definitely on my list.
I will go watch Orange is the New Black or whatever the hell the movie's
Whoa.
called. No, I know.
Orange is the New Black.
Clockwork Orange, I know. Okay, but
Oh, Jesus.
Bill Skarsgård plays Count Orlok,
Yes.
and that's my number 3
Yes.
in this on my top list.
And
Top 10 live action villains.
I mean, Bill Skarsgård, it's kind of already proven himself in the horror world. You know, definitely with him playing Pennywise and
yeah.
things like that. Yes.
He was
Which, oddly enough, his brother played a vampire that was, freaking phenomenal, early in a different series. So it's odd that they have both done the vampire run. Kind of fitting, though. Skarsgård family is very talented. Skarsgård family is very, very well known in Hollywood for, you got the dad and the 2 sons. Except they don't have the reputation of like the Sheens. You know what I'm saying?
so what you're saying is more likely they drink baby's blood and that kind of thing. And that's why they play vampires.
Vampires? So I don't think the dad has ever played a vampire in that aspect. I think he kind of leaves a lot more of the supernatural stuff to his sons.
Because he's the real one.
But they both have played vampires now, which I think is kind of odd. And they both have taken very different roles in the films that they've been in. But films, TV shows, however you want to put that. I don't know. Is HBO considered a TV show? Or
HBO would be a network.
I mean, because his brother played the vampire on HBO, which kind of makes me wonder: is that really considered a TV show? Because it is episodic. It ran like 6-7 seasons.
It's called HBO?
No. It's called True Blood.
Oh, okay.
But it was on
Which-
HBO, so
which
it wasn't
fun-
like it was like on network TV or anything like that. So I mean, because a premium channel, is it still considered TV or is it
would still
I
consider
guess
TV.
it is
Okay.
cable TV.
Funny enough that you bring up True Blood. I have not watched True Blood after I just said I love everything vampires. But Jason from our work, we were talking, and I forget how it got brought up, but he told me I need to watch that. I still haven't yet to watch it, but I'm going to. My wife says she doesn't know if I'm going to like it because it's kind of romancy, and I'm not really into that kind of thing either.
Yeah and no. I mean,
Is it like Twilight?
no.
Okay, well then I'm fine. I'm fine.
No.
As long as it's not like Twilight.
There is kind of a romantic
That's
kind
fine.
of twinge to it in a way. Yes, there's gonna be some sex scenes, blah blah blah. But
Nosferatu has that too.
with True Blood, you're kind of you're blending a lot, right? Like you're blending vampires, werewolves, witches, fairies. You are blending a lot into this. And obviously the vampires and werewolves is going to be exactly what you think. The fairies are not, this ain't Tinkerbell bullshit. This is kind of a whole nother realm of fairies and their powers and what they can do and things of that nature. So it's a little bit different on that.
I didn't know there were fairies
on that
involved in
range.
this.
But not like what you think,
Okay,
so to speak, right?
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, it's not wings fluttering around any shit like that. There is just a.
Then call it something else,
What?
not fairies.
I didn't write the fucking script, bro.
But Bill Skarsgård's brother plays a vampire in True Blood.
Yes, Alexander Skarsgård, and
Okay. So I didn't know that.
he was one of the people. After watching him play that role, I'm like, he would make a good Gambit.
Oh.
Like he would have to bulk up a little bit, but he would make a really good Gambit. It
I feel like you told me that before.
It takes place in Louisiana, is where this story takes place. And with it being in Louisiana, he is a quote unquote vampire sheriff down there. And so he has that he's really kind of pegged the, Bayou Louisiana accent really, really well. It comes out more at certain times than others, but I was just sitting there going, man, he would really, and he just has not so much overall the voice, but he has that kind of Southern charm, charisma, badass character down really, really well. And just the longer I watch that show, the more I'm like, dude, you put a bow staff in his hand and bulk him up muscle wise. This is kind of Gambit, it's kind of crazy.
Too late. It's taken by Channing.
Still. So, all right. So that brings me to number 2. Deuce. Number 2 for me is Jigsaw from the movies of the Saw. When you want to talk about raw manipulation / gore / power trip / everything else.
I've never seen Saw. Just kidding. I have seen all of them.
Saw is just dark manipulation at its finest, with a whole bunch of gore mixed in, right? Like that mental game he likes to play.
Mm-hmm.
Guess why you're here? Guess how I know why you're here? Now guess what your penance is going to be. Most of the time everyone ends up dead. I don't need to explain the Saw movies to anybody.
It changed the horror genre.
But it
100%.
kind of redefined what that horror could be.
Yep.
And they kind of took the gritty and the bloody and mixed it with the psychological, and this is what came out, and it was it was beautiful, in my opinion, to that degree. The movies do start getting a little repetitive after a minute, but they still kind of manage to get very creative on the deaths in it. So it definitely kind of pushed some of that way forward.
Another thing, just going back to the very first Saw. True villain. Like, you don't realize he's in the room the entire fucking time.
He has a front row seat for that shit.
Yes. So yeah, that's
And it's like that is
deserved on your
ball.
list.
What really pissed me off is a couple friends of mine was like, you got to see this movie. You got to see this movie. And at the time, I was burning through horror films. I'm like, it's going to be cheesy. It's going to be stupid. And they were like, showing me trailers. I said, I bet the fucking killer's a dead guy in the room.
Oh,
And I hadn't seen it, and everyone just stopped and looked at me. I'm like, what? That's the cheesiest fucking possible thing that could happen, right? I'm like, because I already said in the trailer he likes a front row seat to his killings. I'm like, obviously it's a dead motherfucker in the middle of the room. And they were all sitting there going, how the fuck did you figure that out? I'm like, I just listened to the trailer and looked at the shot. I mean, like what? I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Is that right?
well, I applaud you.
And they were like, yeah, I mean, kinda. And I'm like, what do you mean kinda? Type deal. I was like, why do I need to watch the movie now? Like, you just have to watch the movie, And eventually, at some point later on, I lost a bet. I had to sit and watch it, whatever, because I wasn't going to. And then when I actually watched it and the whole story unfolded, I'm like, wow, that was kind of twisted. That was kind of, it did follow some cliches, but it didn't lean into them. And in the end, it just kind of allowed you to blow your mind a little bit, which is cool. And not a lot of horror films do that. And it was just a genre that really, once you got into the story, you weren't going to not see the next film. So.
Sorry, I was looking up who played Jigsaw. You know his name?
Off the top of my head, no. I've seen him in lots of different films, but I don't know the actor's name who plays Jigsaw.
I've had that.
Man, Nate's still hanging in with us.
Tobin Bell.
Okay.
Tobin Bell.
Tobin Bell.
Yes. Phenomenal. I 100% not on my list. But 100% agree with him being on a list like this, and the placement is next level. So I agree. I am in agreement. However, my number 2.
Your number 2
is someone that I have brought up before on other podcasts that we've done, and in podcasts that I've done in the past with other people. I think his performance of this character is fucking outstanding, and it's from my favorite movie of all time, Inglourious Bastards, and it is Christoph Waltz. He plays Colonel Hans Landa, the Jew Hunter.
Talk about a guy who can command a room, man. Like in
Yes.
every film he's been in.
Yep.
Yeah,
But
we've talked about this in other podcasts before, but yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't know why that one never crossed my mind when I was making this list, but I mean, we both have Tarantino films.
Yep. Of course.
This is the second turnaround for you, obviously, but it's really cool that I mean, I just can't complain with that one really at all. I just I can't. So that's it's a solid second place choice, man. Solid second place choice.
He doesn't, like other villains on my list, make being a Nazi seem cool, but he definitely makes what Nazis were like. Damn,
like
those
sadistically,
those motherfuckers, dude. Yeah,
right. He brings out that kind of sadistic side you always knew was there, but you never really knew how it really kind of portrayed.
Yeah.
I think he kind of pulled out a portrayal of that just made you go, oh,
You just couldn't.
this is how it really is.
You couldn't wait till he got what was fucking coming to him.
But at the same point in time, you almost wanted to prolong it because of what was he going to do next,
yeah.
right? Like, and that's the beauty of how he played that role. That's the beauty of how he's played all of his roles. If you want the truth,
that can be contributed to the writing, but I think more so his acting.
So it's how he plays that role.
Yeah.
Like he brings that. He's always brought a charisma to the camera that is really hard to match, in my opinion, by almost anyone. And there's a lot of people that bring that kind of charisma. And I'm not saying that there's other actors that don't have that charisma raised to a whole new level, but he's always brought that level of charisma to the table that you're just like, very hard pressed to find other actors who can do what he can do. He would definitely be on my top 10 most underrated actors of all time.
Oh yes. Also, if I didn't know any better, I would think he's a Nazi. Like real life. Like, he had me believing that he is a legit Nazi. But he's not. He's not at all.
No, I do not want that going out on the podcast.
He plays a very good one, but he's not one.
So, all right. So before we get into our number 1, a couple of things, much I hate to say it, TikTok, I'm going to cut the live feed. If you want to find out what the number 1 villain that we have on our list is, you're going to have to tune in come March for the podcast, the Inappropriates, to find out what the number 1 spot is on our list, because I kind of jumped you in. I don't know. I'm going to say around number 7.
This will actually drop in May.
In May?
Yes. We're already...
Oh, no, we are in March. So, yeah, May.
We're in March. We already have the April episodes recorded.
I am calendary dyslexic.
No, we're just good at
backwards.
we're just good at what we do. We record ahead of time. So.
We do record these episodes up in advance, so it will be about a month or so before this begins to drop. So we already have April already recorded, so this will probably be coming out in May. So stay tuned. Please get a hold of me and send me ideas for top 10s. Would love to do that. Don't forget to subscribe and listen to the Inappropriates podcast. And we will see you guys possibly later. If this is something you'd want to watch when we do every once in a while, we'll give it a shot, and I'll go live again.
Bye.
Now I got to figure out how to See ya.
Oh, I thought you already cut it off.
I think I was trying to figure out how to do that, but it was one of those things that was kind of funny.
You didn't plug our OnlyFans.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, so we had 13 viewers for that whole time we were on.
All right.
Duration was 53 minutes. And I had restrictions because I got a vape. Woo.
You had restrictions because you have a vape?
Yeah. So it was seen. So they actually have filters in there to see if there's anything that would be inappropriate sitting in the...
The podcast is titled The Inappropriates.
I know. But if they can see it, they'll do some of that stuff, which is kind of crazy. So...
Oh, my. All right.
All right, man. So we are down to our numero uno. This is the bad dragon that's going to come. Oh, the bad dragon. Jesus Christ. Why did I have to say that?
You said that you don't think that we have the same number one.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think there is a 78% chance that we have the same number one.
You a betting man?
I am, but not on this case.
Got 3 in the back pocket I can pull out just to
I
keep the
have
aces
one
there.
question for you before you give yours. Is it a supervillain? Like from a superhero movie? I am.
No, I have.
I am completely fucking wrong then. Holy shit.
I have 0, unless you're going to count Candyman as a superhero villain. I have 0 superhero villains on my list.
Villain. Okay.
So, yeah.
You did say that.
Yeah.
I guess I should listen.
Because
more.
I could make an entire other list.
Yeah, right.
In that scenario, right? Like,
okay.
And I just kind of think that.
I thought there was one exception. But okay. Okay.
No, I mean, well, I don't know. What was that?
That is a Dell command update on the studio computer.
Sweet. That was
right.
like a little Easter egg. Yeah, down to the number one. I have a ding.
What's going to be really funny is if it's not recorded at all. So the people are like, what are they talking about? We just heard it. It's not recorded.
We just heard it. I didn't know. I almost thought I was supposed to stop and go, today's sponsorship is brought to you by the letter O. The letter O.
For orgasm.
God, can you imagine if they did that on actual Sesame Street? Like, hey, Bert, today's letter is brought to you by the letter O. Oh. God damn it, Ernie. Sorry.
I'm looking for Miss Piggy. Ribbit.
Good bird. Good bird. Yeah, I'm done. I should not be. This is why I don't go out in public very often. That's why I have to stay 300 yards from a school. I don't have to stay 300 yards from a school, just to be clear.
Yet.
It was a fucking joke, people. I'm not good to be around people with delicate feelings. So, number one for me, which is going to make a lot of sense now.
That was a drum roll.
We really got to figure out the sound effects thing on that, because you could probably actually insert that.
There's 100%.
Like there's got to be a drum roll on this, right? Like,
you just keep talking.
Maybe
I'm gonna
turn that knob up a little bit.
This one right here.
Yeah, maybe that'll put it in there. No. I guess the mixing board doesn't work.
All robot. Monster do. Oh my, I don't want to mess anything up, so we're just not going to do this right now.
All right, so maybe if we have a few minutes left to spare, we can ask him how that works before we move over to the other room and record the other podcast. It's not going to sound as good, and it's going to make me feel bad because I'm not going to be in this room to do it, and we need to almost ask them if they'll just let us stay and record the other one. They're not going to let us, though. All right, so my number one is Hannibal Lecter.
I should have known this because
Anthony Hopkins. I just said he's much higher on the list, and I never said it. And we're at the top, and you're like, "I bet it's the same one." I bet it's not.
Wait, no, I was right. We had the same one, just they weren't number one.
They were not number one. We have the same number one. Oh, I don't think we do.
I never said number one. Fuck, this is audio. It's recorded.
He's gonna sit at home and like edit this shit where it's like, "Oh yeah, our same number ones." Whatever.
Oh, so you're going to end it there?
Well, I mean,
I was just looking
it's
at things.
Anthony. We kind of already went over
Okay,
the whole.
Anthony Hopkins. Okay, fine.
The beauty of how he plays that role, like at number, I believe 7 for you,
Number
or
8.
number 8
He
for
was
you.
number
Sorry.
8. My number 9, by the way, was just a reminder. Arthur Fleck, played by Joaquin. Said it right that time. Phoenix. My number 1. You also said though, and it's Heath Ledger.
Yeah,
the Joker.
Yeah,
he is the number 1 all-time live-action villain. He played the Joker perfectly. He is the Joker.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
no one else is ever going to be able to top that.
That particular role, when it comes to superhero villains, it's so.
R.I.P.
Man.
Heath Ledger, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. But like the Joker's not. Yes, he is a superhero villain, right? Because he's in Batman, but he so perfectly matches the non-superhero hero. So, in a sense, he could go on this list because he's up against a non-superhero hero. But he has taken on the likes of like Superman, and he has taken on Green Arrow, and he has taken on some of these other people that have higher powers and things like that, and he survived. So just kind of a testament in the comic books to how twisted and how planning just kind of does everything, right? But when you look at it, he's on that tipping edge of, is he a superhero villain or is he just a villain, like in that aspect, because he's not technically empowered. Like let's just say like if you're gonna go with say even in the DC universe, you've got Jesus, who's the guy who's from hell? Fuck,
There's a lot of those.
Drawing a blank. I don't know. He's like, I have to look it up now, but it crossed back over into Marvel at that point. But like Thanos, you've got people like even Spider-Man's villains who are all either have something just as fucked up that it's happened to. Like you have Venom, you have Mysterio, you have Doc Ock, who all modified genetically, super powered up.
Yeah.
Those would obviously be on a whole new level on this list because obviously they could cause much more destruction, much more this, and much more manipulation tactics and things of that nature. But I don't know, man. It's gonna be really difficult it's difficult for me to mix those as villains. So I mean, for me, it'll be a whole nother list.
Okay, it's fair. I agree. Joker would not fall under that category. I have Killmonger and Kingpin, both who would fall under that. So I have 3 technically from superhero movies or shows on my list. But
Right,
my
but
list.
I mean, even when you're looking at that stuff, man, I mean, how are you really going to put something like Darkseid, like from DC, into a list like this? I mean, they're all like super OP, but the people you did put in had a much more human aspect to their villainy than they had like that superhero aspect. So, I mean, in both cases, or all 3 cases at that point, it definitely, there is a argument to be had in that, versus putting someone like, like Deathstroke in there, or even Dead,
But again, it goes back to I was more of how the actor portrayed the villain, not necessarily the villain itself. So that's what my list consisted of. But we had one the same, Anthony Hopkins, Hannibal Lecter, right? There was nothing else that was the same. There was
I don't think there was in that
there
aspect.
was a couple that we were both like, oh yeah, but just one. But I think that's our average. I think we at least always on these lists have one.
Typically, there's always one that matches up. I think. What was our record? 3.
The Comedians one, the one that I thought there
There
no
would be
chance
nothing.
Of. Yeah.
There'd be
It's funny.
nothing. So, I mean, what can I say? Funny's funny, regardless how you look at it. But
Let's end this studio session. We've got 11 more minutes of studio time. Let's end it with one more Marry, Fuck, Kill from the cards. I'll throw it over to you. You can.
all right. Well, let's see. Did the dudes last time, so we'll do the rolls this time. Cards are sticking together. All right. So the top three cards here is Demi Lovato.
Okay.
So G.I. Jane, strip cheese, married Bruce Willis.
Wait, no, that's not Demi Lovato.
No. That was Demi
That's
Moore.
Demi Moore, yeah.
Demi Lovato's a singer, isn't she?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, apparently we're going to be on a kick for this. Britney Spears.
Oh, hey.
And is it K Moss?
Kate Moss?
Just K-A.
I think that's wrong, but I'll look up K. Yeah, it's coming up as Kate Moss. So we're going to say it's Kate Moss.
Like,
I think that the
did they misprint a card?
yeah, I
or-
think there's probably some misprints, but that's Kate Moss. In case you don't remember who Kate Moss is, I got a picture of her up.
Oh, no. Yeah.
So we're going to go with her because I typed
Yeah,
in-
nothing comes up for
yeah.
just K.
No.
So it would be Kate Moss.
Yeah,
And then
Demi Lovato. I must be spelling it wrong. Do you have the Demi Lovato? I know who it is, but I don't know what she looks
oh,
like.
here you go. Demi Lovato.
Okay. All right. So Brittany, Demi Lovato, and Kate Moss. Okay. That Demi Lovato reminds me of a Kardashian. So I'm just going to go ahead and kill the Kardashian. Not saying I wouldn't fuck her first, but yeah. So Demi Lovato's dead. I am going to fuck Kate Moss. She looks like a nice girl next door. She probably would be better marriage material than Britney Spears. But again, I had a picture of Britney Spears on the headboard of my bed when I was younger. So Britney Spears is who I'm marrying. And Kevin Federline can kick rocks. I think they're long over with, but I just wanted to throw it out that I knew who Kevin Federline is.
Right.
I'm stupid.
So, all right. So for me, I mean, Britney Spears literally does nothing for me, so I'm gonna have to kill Britney Spears. Just for that simple.
I'll swoop in and resuscitate her.
I'm kind of totally different on this than you, man. I'll probably take the night with Kate and marry Demi. Like,
I mean, we took the night with Kate. Just the other two were.
yeah, but I mean, I'm gonna kind of take Demi Lovato on the marriage one this time, just because I don't know. She's pretty damn attractive.
She is. She just reminds me too much of a Kardashian.
So. All right, man. We got 8 minutes left. We got to clear out of here.
We sure do.
So make sure we get this wrapped up so they're not banging on the door going, wrap it the fuck up.
The next podcast for listeners, if you want to tune in, not next Wednesday, but the Wednesday after, is top 10 jobs that if you had, you'd be ashamed to admit.
Yeah, this is gonna be a fun one. I'm kind of looking forward. It's actually a little. How do I put it? This was harder than I thought it was gonna be too. I don't know why. It's gonna start off kind of mild, and then we're gonna get crazy as it goes. I'm not gonna lie.
I think I know why. You took too much Blue Chew.
Explains where the brain went and focus got lost.
On that note, peace.
Have a week.
All right, folks, so until next time, I'm Matthew,
I'm Nathan.
and we're here reminding you to be yourself, because everyone else is taken.